Hi everyone, Carl here, and this is the working hour. This is the last working hour of 2023. I can't believe that it's A, the end of the year, and B, that when I started this back in May, um, that I would be doing this for this long and actually enjoying it. Um, I'll confess, me being in front of camera and doing this kinds of things is really out of my comfort zone. And the truth is, to do things that are out of your comfort zone sometimes is a good thing, um, but it's still frightening and scary. So I'm really excited about next year in 2024. A lot of things going on, a lot of things that I've been working on in the background that you'll kind of find out more in the coming weeks. But more importantly, it's just a time now to reflect. It's also a time to get organized. Now, when I worked in corporate, I had different tools that I used. And one of the things I used as a tool was I used a planner, a daily planner. Um, in fact, I'll show you mine. Here it is. It's a file of facts. I've had it for, well, this one I've had for, God, going on 10 years. Um, and when I was working in corporate job, I used it religiously, took it with me wherever I went. Would write my notes and do all that stuff. And once I started to kind of do my own thing, I was like, I'm thinking I'd try different things. Leverage technology, writing in different types of books, doing all those things. And this year I said, you know what, I'm really going to get organized. I'm going to go back to some of the things that worked well for me when I worked in the corporate world. And one of those things was actually using a daily planner. Um, the way I actually work this, the way I actually do this, is I actually go and at the beginning of the day, go and start out and I start to write out what I want to do and the goals and everything. And the way it's kind of set up and the way Filofax does it, and the way I have the pages set up, I have a place for notes, I have a place for goals that I want to accomplish during that day, and then a place for appointments. Now, even though I have an electronic calendar, and that I use, a scheduler and all those things. I still did that in corporate, but I would always write it down, and it would help me remember the things I needed to accomplish and the things I needed to do. Um, Earlier this year, when I started work on doing, my online class and doing all those things, whenever I wrote things down and I actually said, here are the things I want to accomplish for the month, I was more likely to accomplish the things that I wrote down, quote unquote, my goals for the month. Um, what's great about the system that I use and have had used for a while is I can plan out for the year things that I want to do and all the things that I need to or want to accomplish for the next 12 months. And now, being this the last week of 2023, this is a great time to do this. So what I will be doing over the next few days, besides doing some coursework and doing all that stuff, one of the things I'm trying to do is I'm trying to up my video game. And if you've not noticed, I'm a little bit better lit today than I was. One of my Christmas gifts was actually some lighting for my lives, so I can actually be lit better. I'm going to be working on some background stuff too, and doing that. So I'm trying to up my game there. But the other part of it is laying out my goals and laying out my plans for the next 12 months from a big standpoint, but getting even more granular what I want to do in January, February, and March of this year, uh, revenue wise, what I want to do in the offerings and the things that I want to do. Those are all things that I'm working on and planning on now. Now you're figuring out, what does this have to do with you and your job search and the things that you want to do for your career coming in 2024. This is a great time, and we talked about a little bit earlier about reflection and doing all those things. And one of the things you need to do coming in the beginning of the year, if you're really serious about changing your career, changing your job, doing those things, is actually getting organized, understanding what is important to you as a person, what you want to accomplish this year, where do you want to see the changes happen, and how you plan on getting there. Now, it's very easy to say, I need to make a change, I need to make a change, I need to make a change. That's all fine and good. But if there's no action behind saying, I need to make a change and putting some goals and putting some things that you need to do out there, you're never going to do it. It's always going, I need to. So instead of saying, I need to do this, I need to do that, it's time to actually, excuse me, it's actually time to go and to get busy. Now, I'm going to take a little sip of coffee here. So besides getting busy and getting focused on what you need to do for the coming year, keep in mind once you create your goals, understand that things are going to change. Okay, what's important today may not be important, and things may change in your world that you may have to readjust your goals and readjust those things. That's fine. But the important thing is to start out having a direction you want to go in. Now, remember, when you're working in your corporate jobs, usually this time of the year, a little bit earlier, November, you're already talking about the things you want to accomplish in the new year, setting your goals for the future. And again, it is the best guess that you have at that moment, and that's fine. Now, with this best guess that you're making and saying, I'm going to do these things, understand that they, again, may change. The fact that you're laying it out there, the likelihood of you doing those things, and the reason you're thinking and saying, I need to do those, you realize that there's some importance there. So, for this last working hour of the year, it's really important to make sure that you end the year strong. Again, there's only a few days left, but to end the year strong, what I mean by that is actually sit back, reflect on what you want to do coming next year, which is only in a couple of days, and how you're going to get from point A to point B. So, with that said, I'm going to wish everyone a happy new year, a very safe new year. Um, and again, I will see you next year. If you are interested in finding more about how I help people, how I help executives kind of get to that next level, and you want to find out a little bit more about how to work together, scan the QR code in this video. It'll actually take you to my booking page. It's a free information. We'll chat, and we'll have a little bit of a discussion on kind of where you are now, where you want to go, and how we might work together in getting you to where you want to be. So again, Happy New Year, and I'll see you next year. Bye-bye.